Hello everyone, welcome to day 7 of my 77-day video challenge. Today we are all going to talk about a beautiful concept called emotional intelligence and what all it takes to being emotionally intelligent. Let us see what those things are. So, I want to share with you all about emotional intelligence by starting with an example or using a simple tool. For example, imagine a simple tool called mood meter. What this mood meter does is, for example, if we are feeling very good, very high in our mind, and our energies are very high, so that means we can imagine our side to the right side of the curve, and at moments when we are feeling down or disappointed or having some negative emotions and drained our energy, then we can think of we can think of ourselves at the left side of the curve, for example. Now walking you or imagine your entire day, like maybe in the morning we might start on the positive side, maybe high with energies, high with clarity in our mind and everything. As the day goes by with our chores, work, traveling to work and many other things, might be our energies might little bit come down, and again maybe afternoon after lunch or something, maybe again up and then again down. So like that our emotions go up and down. But what we are not realizing is when those emotions are, especially when they are in the downfall or downside, that those moments, if we are not aware of that aspect, then we might behave in a manner that that is not that we don't feel happy about it. Like we might say things that we regret about, or we don't want to we basically feel regret about those kind of instances might happen. But so what is happening is, and imagine if we are taking a biggest decision of your life, and if we are not cognizant of the fact that what our emotions are at that moment, then I don't think we will be able to make a right decision with that frame of mind, right? So that is what emotional intelligence is all about. Emotional intelligence is identifying, recognizing our emotions and how they play part in our interactions, not only with ourselves but with others as well. That is what emotional intelligence is all about. And here I am going to share with you all maybe three aspects of that emotional intelligence. First one is self awareness, second is self management, and third is social awareness. So self awareness is all about um, knowing what we are feeling at that moment. Like in a day, maybe stopping and asking ourselves, what am I feeling right now? What is my emotion? What is the emotion I'm feeling right now? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I motivated, inspiring, or hopeful? Whatever it is, positive or negative emotion. Just identifying what is the emotion we are going through at that moment, just that identification. So that is a practice we want to develop in a day, asking ourselves that question, identifying what we are feeling. Then the second one is self management. So once we know we are in that negative frame of mind, for example, maybe due to external factors or whatever it could be, if we are in that negative emotion, then finding some tools, creating some tools to lift us out from that moment of negative emotion. I mean, it's all habits, right? We want to create some habits. I mean, nobody wants to purposely be in that negative emotion for a pretty long time. Maybe at times that's okay, but not pretty long time. So we want to equip ourselves with some tools that we can counteract to bring ourselves out of those negative emotions. Maybe again, simple tools like listening to your favorite music, or going on a nice walk, or chatting with one of the friends, or reading some article, or maybe watching a TV, or whatever it is. So it's just equipping ourselves with some tools that will help us to bring out of that negative emotion. That is self management. And third one is social awareness. So I talked about those emotions, that tool, right? Mood meter. So we know our emotions, like morning, evening, afternoon, however we are feeling, what we are feeling. But when we are interacting with others, sometimes we are not being cognizant of the fact that what their emotions are. So maybe sometimes we might not be able to read from their face what their emotions are, but we need to be cognizant, and we should have that we should have that empathy, or have that perspective, thinking from their shoes. Like for example, if someone is maybe behaving in a manner that we don't like, or whatever it is, in that moment, instead of thinking wrong from our side, maybe thinking from their perspective, what is going on, am I interacting correctly with these people? Are my facial expressions good, or how is my vocal variety, how am I talking with those people? So am I listening carefully to them, so to make them understand that I understand them actually? So that is what, if we both are in positive side of the curve, then our interactions will happen nicely. But if one of the persons in those two interactions are on the negative side of the place, then I don't think those interactions also might be fruitful. So that time we want to be cognizant of the fact how these emotions are playing a part. So those are my three things I would like to share with you all in emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness. When we are able to identify those emotions, and when we are able to use them in our interactions with, not only with ourselves but with others, then we will have a fruitful relationships with everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in my next. Thank you.